Was there ever a moment filming that something felt a little too real?
Those lacrosse scenes, because lacrosse is in fact an exhausting sport.
LOL.
I learned how to play it for the show, and it was really tiring to do.
Welcome to Xfinity Hangouts. It's your boy Kwam, and I'm hanging out today with Coco Jones and Olly Sholotan, who play Hillary and Carlton Banks from the new show Bel-Air.
I made you look.
Yo, Uncle Phil.
I'm glad you're safe. We'll talk later.
You're a long way from home, Mom. Oh, Tim, how you been?
You know, thriving.
I hope one day we can talk about why you're really here.
Olly, Coco, how are y'all doing today?
Doing great.
I'm fantastic. Great to be here.
Thank you. It was great to have y'all here. Let me first say that I love the new show Bel-Air. I was a huge fan of the original Fresh Prince. Will was like my idol. It was Will Smith and Allen Iverson for like my Philly legends. And I used to watch Nick and Night like every day as a kid, like watching the reruns of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And obviously you can see it meant a lot to me. Did you guys watch the show when you were younger?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it came out a little bit before I was born, but because the show is such a classic, of course, it was introduced to me and my siblings as we were coming up, and we all could watch it together as a family. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, literally same as Coco. It stopped airing 2 years before I was born. So I never watched it in sequence, but I caught episodes here and there. But since getting the show, it's been so cool to go back and actually watch it in order. Because now I get a lot of the running jokes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a kid, I didn't get that every time Jazz wore that shirt, he was about to get kicked out of the house, But now going back on it, I'm like, oh, there's the thing. So that's been a really great treat.
What have been some of y'all favorite episodes from the original?
I would say a specific moment that I always think about and it just cracks me up is when Will was dancing with Ashley and she had her headphones on and she couldn't tell at all. That's so funny to me because that's the type of stuff I would do with my siblings. Just be goofy for no reason. But there's so many moments. There's way too many to pick.
My favorite episode, I think it's two. The one where Carlton overdoses, just because you see how much Will cares about Carlton, and Will and Uncle Phil have this really incredible moment of Phil being like, yo, like this is your responsibility and your fault, essentially. But also the episode where they're rushing the Black fraternity and the frat brothers don't like Carlton. And again, Will sticks up for Carlton, but then also you see Carlton sort of take ownership over his own Blackness and his own version of Blackness. And I think that's a very powerful and beautiful scene.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about for both episodes. And I think what you're getting to the key at is Will and Carlton's eventual love for each other. Because, initially they're kind of button heads. And as we see in the, new show Bel-Air, there's a lot of tension. But then over time, you see Will and Carlton really grow that fondness for each other. That's one thing I really love about the new show. It takes on its own identity without necessarily trying to be the old show. Coco, how would you describe Hillary in this new version?
Hillary in Bel-Air, she's a lot more goal-driven. She's a chef.
Hillary's an amazing cook. It's going to take okusin basun.
My recipes, they are my culture.
She's also an influencer, which wasn't even a thing back when The Fresh Prince came out.
How am I going to be a star if I do the same thing as everybody else? You going out there and make your own mark. Challenge accepted.
I would say even though she's from this upper echelon upbringing, she's really striving to prove herself in a way that money can't buy. She's trying to create a platform for herself in the midst of a lot of opposition that no one can take away from her. So she's really determined. She's creative and headstrong. And she gets herself in some interesting situations as she's on this journey of discovering herself and what her career would look like and convincing the world that what she brings to the table is enough.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Hillary in this new version, she is, like you said, very headstrong, very goal-oriented compared to the old Hillary, which was kind of letting life happen to her. But I think there was also some key similarities between like the original Hillary played by Kara Parsons and then your version of Hillary?
I actually did get to speak to Karen, and it was such an amazing conversation. We laughed about how her version of Hillary is nothing like her. She kind of created Hillary from a couple different people she knew and made her this whole different personality. But what she loved about my portrayal of Hillary in Bel-Air is that it is a version of me. She was like really proud to see, of course, the dark skin representation, and then also me being grounded and like you root for me in the show, and you feel like you can relate to me. Like I have more of like a girl next door type of quality, and so she did kind of pass me the baton in a way and say like she was like, I'm pretty picky, but I was really impressed. Like honestly.
Yeah, we definitely get that vibe from the new Hillary where
I mean,
I
she
love
still
that.
has her moments where she's a little self-centered. Sometimes she be talking to her mama all types of crazy, and I'm from the South, so we don't do that. But she has the right intention. She just wants to be understood. She wants to prove herself.
I can create my own opportunities without you, Mother. I'm sorry that I don't feel sorry.
I think a big part of the show is these relationship dynamics. Looking at like Carlton and Will, I think originally they were always foes. They were always kind of like, each other's folly. But in this newer, fresh take, they're almost like mortal enemies, and it adds another dynamic to the entire relationship between Will and Carlton. Do you feel like these changes made really are going to be seen on screen?
I really, honestly, I really do love the changes that we've made to the relationship because, it was always well understood that in the original that they were foils of each other's characters. But how do you take that and put it in a dramatic sense, right? I think that Will coming into Bel-Air really sort of represents Carlton's deepest insecurity.
Yo, how is it possible that Carlton is the coolest brother in this joint?
I mean, I do kind of run the place. Hey!
Carlton's charming when he wants to be.
Believe it or not, Will, I want everything handed to me.
First of all, it's a challenge to his masculinity because he's used to sort of being the only guy in the house apart from his dad, but it's also a threat to his blackness because for so much of Carlton's life, he's had to sort of remove his sense of blackness, and he's had to assimilate to predominantly white people. And so Will coming in and being so unapologetically black and succeeding in a way that Carlton never was able to, doing the same thing, really messes with him. I think that as the season goes on and as they learn to find strengths in their differences, I think in a way it makes what I believe will be their eventual bond. I think it makes what will be their eventual bond, mean more.
Exactly. I mean, I think when you see their lowest lows, when you see Carlton, ready to almost set Will up, but trying to get him to fight him, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, how can these two ever, get to a point where they, want to reconnect? But you have a feeling when it's setting up for the characters to have a real, lasting relationship.
Yeah. And that's the thing, as long as y'all keep watching, y'all give us 6 seasons, then you'll see it.
Hello. He hit the nail on the hammer with that.
How important was it for the creators and for y'all, the cast members, to, show these realities within Bel-Air?
I think it's so important, representation in all the ways. Me getting to play a dark-skinned version of a more known as a light-skinned version of a Black woman was super impactful just for the girls who look like me. But also this storyline is impactful, I think, for Hollywood and seeing Black people as more than just like in a negative struggle, like you can have similar journeys in life no matter your area code. So showing that the overall theme that you need is love and support and family. And that just because you come from an affluent area doesn't mean your life is going to be all perfect. Like there's real truths that we show in Bel-Air that I think will make a lot of people feel heard in a way that they're surprised they can relate to.
Yo, King, what's up, man? No love. Look around. These are my people.
What?
From now on, steer clear.
Exactly that. Like, that's what it comes back to. I think that there's nothing more magical and powerful than seeing yourself represented on screen. And I think that Bel-Air does that so very well for so many people. And I love that about the work that we're doing.
Was there ever a moment where, like, while you were filming, that something felt a little too real?
I'm going to say no, because I can relate to Hillary and a lot of the things that she goes through and a lot of the pressures that the world tries to put on her. And I know somebody else feels that same way too. So even if something is like a very emotional moment, like I want to do that to the best of my ability so that when someone watches this storyline, it impacts them in the way that like I was actually impacted in my own life. And the things that I'm taking from my own life, I want to be able to translate those to the best of my ability. So it feels really important.
I'm a strongly disagree with that. Those lacrosse scenes felt a little too real because lacrosse is in fact an exhausting sport.
LOL.
I learned how to play it for the show, and it was really tiring to do. But to the emotional scenes, I totally agree with Coco. But lacrosse is tough. That's a tough scene. I have bruises.
I mean, it looks like you had to get in shape, to play a lacrosse player. How was that, trying to prepare for this role of Carlton? We never really thought of Carlton as this super athletic, buff guy. But then you come on like, what's up, y'all?
Now his head's getting all big.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
all
always
right,
been
flex. Go ahead.
well, I've always been in pretty decent shape. But when I got the role and found out he was a lacrosse player, I was like, all right, I gotta beef up. So that was pretty much it. I bulked up for the show. And now I'm excited for us to be in our off season because I can stop shoving as much food in my mouth and I don't have to go to the gym every single morning.
Hey, makes it a lot easier. And I feel the pain of having try to be on that seafood diet where you see food and you eat it.
Literally. Like,
it's a struggle. It's a struggle. A lot of people don't understand. So what were some of your favorite moments while filming?
I would probably say the dinner scenes and the breakfast scenes with everyone there, just because we're so goofy that when they call cut, we're just acting up, literally just having a blast, singing and freestyling and all of the above, literally all of the above.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite moment, and this actually didn't come to me until a few days ago, but my favorite moment was when we filmed the in the pilot that fundraiser scene, because that day was the first day that the family met, like all of us at once. And we all instantly clicked with each other. Like in between takes, we're all talking. And then at the end of the day, as we're wrapping, we're up on the stage and the live band is there and they're playing. We're all just like dancing and singing and have a great time. And this is literally day one of us all meeting each other. So that was just, I don't know, it really was a great sign because we knew that, oh, okay, we found something special and we're definitely going to love each other. And we did, because days we get off set at 14-hour set days and we're like, so dinner? I don't know why we're still trying to hang out with each other, but I don't know, we can't get enough of each other.
Hey, Olly, how are you feeling right now?
Here we are. Damn.
I mean, I think it says a lot between the chemistry between everyone in the cast. You guys really truly feel like a real family, and I think that's probably the best glowing review I can give of the show. This is a real family that you can just see their dynamic play out on screen. So I love the show. I love Bel-Air. I love y'all. Thank you, Coco Jones, and thank you, Olly Sholotan, for hanging out with me. Until next time, y'all.
Thank you.
Word. Till next time. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This time we'll try to make you forget who you are and where you came from. Don't let it do that.
Damn! Jeffrey Thompson, house manager.
Will!
Oh, Viv!
10 years is a long time.
Let me show you around.
Where them dimes at?
Hillary!
Will! Let's go find you something fit for a prince.
What do you think?
I made you look.
Yo, Uncle Phil!
I'm glad you're safe. We'll talk later.
Cousin Will!
Yo! Is this really baby Ashley?
You're a long way from home, Mom.
Oh, Tim. How you been?
Thriving. I hope one day we can talk about why you're really here.
Do you know why I'm here from Philly?
Scrapping the bull court. Got nasty.
Who threw that? Was it you?
Now some bad man from Philly, he want to deal with you.
Boy, I moved mountains to get you here. So here's the story. Came to Bel-Air for a better education. Simple. Be patient. Give this a real chance.
We have a different set of rules here, okay? If you want to do well, just keep your head down and follow my lead.
Whoa, whoa. Man, you know I'm a rep West Philly wherever I go. Yo, King, what's up, man? No love.
Look around. These are my people.
What? From now on, steer clear.
Welcome to Bel-Air.
What the hell is my life?